That is why you don't have your own child. And do you think that I will sit back and watch you harm my son? See, if you want to carry a child, go and give birth. Leave my son alone. Upon a time, in the village of Akomazi, there lived a very wealthy man called Iche Oko. Iche simply means a respectable titled man in a community. He was married to a very beautiful, calm and virtuous wife called Uloma. He owned so many houses, cars, rubber and palm plantations and so many other possessions. But Iche Oko lacked one thing. He doesn't have a child of his own. His wife had been married for 9 years, but their marriage was yet to be blessed with a child. During the early years of their marriage, Ichie never bothered about it. In fact, he loved his wife so much and always assured her that they will have kids someday. He was always reminding her that all their medical test results have proven that they don't have any medical issues and that they were fertile. Whenever people mocked Uloma outside, she will always take comfort and solace in the words and arms of her husband. But all this changed one day, and it was during their 8th year of marriage. That day, Iche Oko went to elders' meeting as usual, where roasted meat and kola nuts were shared. When it was Iche's turn to take, he was stopped by a younger man who claimed that he must take before Iche. Everybody present was shocked because this was strange. The norm was that everything was being shared according to age. That has been the practice since the days of their forefathers. So where is this one coming from? They all wondered. Suddenly, the Ono, who was the eldest of them all, spoke up and said, Biamazi Okoli, what has come over you? That is referring to the younger man. Don't you know our custom and traditions again? Or are you trying to tempt the gods? Ono asked. Then Mazi Okoli replied Ono and said, Oh no, I am not disrespecting anybody, but this meeting is supposed to be for men and not some weak lilies. Any man that cannot impregnate his wife for almost 10 years of marriage is not fit to be called a man. He is not supposed to be among the gathering of men. Hence, I won't allow any weak lily to choose before me, who is a father of 6. Never. Immediately, Onowu and other elders present tried cautioning him, but he wasn't done talking. He went further to say, if Oche Oko leaves this world today, who will inherit all this wealth that he's amassing? He asked. At this stage, Ichie Oko stood up and left the meeting angrily. From the meeting, Ichie went straight to his room and locked himself up till the next day, while he kept thinking about all that Mazi Okoli said to him at the meeting. His wife Uloma knocked severally, but he refused to open the door for her. All through the night, Uloma didn't sleep. She was awake wondering what really happened to her husband when he went out yesterday. In fact, last night was the very first night they would ever sleep apart since they got married. So she was very worried. The next morning, she woke up very early and made Iche's favorite soup of ofe ujuju with assorted meat, azu mangala, and okporoko, accompanied with fufu. She quickly had her bath, dressed beautifully, set Iche's food, and went straight to knock on his door. Her first and second knocks were ignored by Iche. Then she said, Dimoma, Ututoma, meaning, my lovely husband, good morning. It is me. I know that you can hear me. "Please open the door for me, sir," she said. Then Uche opened the door. Immediately he asked her, "Woman, what do you want?" She answered and said, "My husband, at least answer my greeting now." Next he retorted angrily and said, "You tell me why I should answer your greetings. What is good about this money, this woman?" Uloma was shocked and she politely asked her husband, "Dim, what have I done wrong? Have I offended you in any way? Please tell me so that I can apologize. I don't like seeing you angry," she said. But immediately, Iche replied her in a harsh tone saying, "You are asking me what you've done wrong, so you don't know." At this point, Uloma became more confused. In order not to aggravate the situation, she playfully said, "Dim, since you did not eat last night, I woke up very early and prepared your favorite ofe ujuju and hot akpu. Come and eat before it gets cold, my love." But this got Iche angrier. He said, "Uloma, you have made me a laughing stock in the whole community. Everyone now mocks me. Uloma, why have you chosen to disgrace me? Uloma, why?" At this point, Uloma was even more confused. She asked, "Nnam, what have I done wrong this morning? I only asked you to come eat. Is that an offense?" she asked politely. Instead, Iche yelled at her saying, "Food! That is all you have to offer for almost 10 years of marriage. Food, Uloma. Uloma, your mates are giving their husbands children, not just food. Please, I don't want food. I want children. I want my house to be filled with children." Then he turned to shut his door. But before then he said, "Please stop calling me Nam because I'm not your father. It is only my children that have the right to call me father, not you, Uloma." With these words, he shut the door at Uloma's face. Uloma wept back to her room. Her husband, who had been her only source of consolation, have now joined her mockers. From that day on, Iche started making the home unbearable for Uloma. Nothing she does pleases him anymore. He yells and criticizes everything she does. Gradually, Uloma started becoming a shadow of herself. She started going from hospitals to prayer houses, to herbalists and everywhere just to give her husband children. But the more places she went, the more money she wasted because no positive result was forthcoming. Every monthly period brought sadness to Uloma. Her home and husband, who were once sources of comfort to her, suddenly turned to thorns on her flesh. One night, during the 9th year of their marriage, Ichie woke Uloma up because he said he had something important to tell her. Uloma sat down at the bed and he said, "Uloma, I am taking a second wife this year." Uloma couldn't believe what she just heard and she asked, "Ichie, second wife?" He said, "Yes, I have tried. Time is no longer on my side. I need to have my own children. And since you can't give me, let another person do the job, Uloma." Immediately, Uloma went down on her knees with her eyes filled with tears. She pleaded with Iche to give her more time, but Iche was not having it. His mind was made up. He said to her, "Those your crocodile tears won't stop me from going ahead with my decision. In fact, I had already consulted with my kingsmen and they have given me the go ahead. I just need to find the right woman, do the necessary rites, and bring her home." With these final words, he went back to sleep, leaving Uloma to her fate. From the next day, Iche and his kingsmen focused on finding second wife for him, while Uloma continued pleading with him to give her more time. Uloma continued pleading for weeks, but when she realized that Iche wasn't backing down on his decision, she thought of something to do. She thought to herself that if another woman was coming to share her matrimonial home with her, then she should be someone she can relate with and not someone who will frustrate her out of the house. So one night, she suggested to Iche to allow her join in the search for a second wife for him, which he gladly accepted. All through that night, she thought of whom to pick as a co-wife among her friends or relatives, but most of them were already married with kids. But when it seemed that all hope was lost for her, suddenly she remembered someone, Nkechi. Nkechi was Uloma's childhood friend. Although Nkechi was already married, she had a younger sister named Amaka who was yet to be married. Uloma smiled to herself and said, "Tomorrow, I'll go meet Nkechi so that she can convince her younger sister Amaka to be my co-wife. At least she's my person. She won't trouble me in this house," she thought to herself. The next day, very early at dawn, she left her house for Nkechi's house. Nkechi was surprised to see her friend Uloma at such hour of the day. So she asked, "My friend, this one that you came to my house this early, I hope all is well." Oh." Uloma answered and said, "My friend, all is not well. Oh. They are about to remove food from my mouth, and it's only you, Nkechi, that can stop that too." Nkechi was surprised. "Food from your mouth? And it's only me that can stop it?" she asked. "My friend, you are speaking in parables, so please talk to me in a language I can understand," Nkechi said. Then Oluma proceeded and asked, "My friend, how about your younger sister Amaka? Is she married now?" Nkechi answered and said, "No, my friend. We are still hoping and praying that a man will ask her hand in marriage soon. In fact, it has been a source of concern to all of us in the family," Nkechi said. Uloma went on to say, "Nkechi, that is the main reason why I'm here. Please help me convince her to be my husband's second wife." Nkechi's mouth opened so wide and said, "Uloma, did you just realize what you said?" Uloma answered her and said, "Yes, I know. I have given it a very careful thought. My friend, my husband is threatening to take a second wife, although he has also given me the go-ahead to help him find one if I can. I came to you because we are one. My friend, you know that I don't like wahala. I don't want any woman to come chase me out of the house. That is why I came to you. Please, I know that you will not hurt me," she said. She continued, but this time she was on her knees begging and weeping. "Please, Nnem, don't say no, I beg you. You are my only hope if I must remain in that house. Please help me convince Amaka to marry my husband." At this point, Nkechi was filled with so much pity for her friend, and she asked her to get up, then told her that she would speak to her sister and other members of her family. Uloma thanked her. She got up from her knees. They chatted for some time before Uloma went back to her own home. Weeks later, Nkechi was at Uloma's house to inform her that Amaka had accepted to become her co-wife. Uloma was so happy. She informed her husband, and immediately marriage rites were carried out and Amaka joined them as an Oko. For months, Uloma and Amaka lived happily together. They loved themselves, shared everything together, went everywhere together. Uloma cared for her like a big sister, while Amaka accorded her all the respect due to an elder sister. There was so much peace and love in their home, and Ichioku loved both of them so much. Few months later, Amaka became pregnant. Everyone in the home were happy, with Uloma being the happiest. She took very care of her all through her pregnancy days. and even took her to the hospital on her delivery day. Amaka gave birth to a baby boy. Finally, Iche has an heir. When they got back from the hospital, Nkechi insisted that she would come for the Omugwo duties, and Uloma gladly accepted. While Nkechi was carrying out her Omugwo duties, she was carefully observing how her little sister and Uloma lived. She was not happy that her little sister was treating Uloma like an elder sister instead of a co-wife. So she told herself that she must change that before she leaves. So a night before leaving the Oko's house, Nkechi asked Uloma to sit down in order to have a heart-to-heart talk with her. She said to Amaka, "Amaka, my sister, I have been observing the way you and your co-wife live in this house." Immediately, Amaka smiled and said, "Oh, you mean your friend Auntie Uloma? Sister, she's so nice, eh? She has been treating me like a sister ever since I came into this marriage. I love her." Immediately, Nkechi drew her ear and said, "Did I just hear you say treating you like a sister? Ha! Amaka, she's not your sister. Oh. You are co-wives, nothing like sisters. Listen to me, Amaka. You have to take your rightful position in this house. Oh. You need to stop being nice to her. Or don't you know that you have given Iche a son? What she couldn't do for almost 10 years. Amaka, you did it immediately you came into this house. You and your son should be Iche's number one priority now." Amaka was shocked by what her sister was saying. She said, "Sister, please, I love the way we are living peacefully in this house. I don't want to start what I can't finish." Oh. Next thing Nkechi said, "Okay, oh, before me Miss Goody's shoes until she will buy your son." Amaka asked, "Why will she do that? Is he not her son as well?" Nkechi laughed out loud and said, "Did I just hear you say her son as well? Okay, oh, wait until soap enters your eyes. Do you think she's happy that you have a child before her? My sister, shine your eye, oh. Henceforth, ensure that you guard your territory. You have upper hand in this house, oh. Me, I have said my own. Tomorrow, I am going back to my husband's house," Nkechi concluded. The next morning, as Nkechi left the Oko's house, Uloma entered Amaka's room in order to assist her in case she needed help. She sat down on the bed, but Amaka asked her to get up. Amaka said, "Uloma, get up from that chair. How will you enter my room and just sit down? Did I ask you to sit? Who even permitted you to come in the first place? Did you knock? See, next time, before you enter my room, always knock. In fact, Uloma, leave. I and my son want to sleep." Uloma was shocked, but she excused her anyway. Uloma thought that Maka was just having a bad day, or probably she was missing her sister. But little did she know that Amaka had changed. One day, while Amaka was bathing, Uloma heard the baby crying. So she rushed to Amaka's room to carry the baby. Immediately, Amaka ran straight to the room, took the baby from her, and then warned her never to touch her son again. Amaka said, "Uloma, please don't use your evil hands to touch my son again. You this evil woman." Amaka, Uloma asked, "Me, evil? What has come over you these days, Amaka? Why are you acting funny? What wrong have I done to you now?" Amaka said, "Oh, so you don't know? I already know your plans. You are not happy that I have a child. You are jealous, you this evil woman. That is why you don't have your own child. And do you think that I will sit back and watch you harm my son? See, if you want to carry a child, go and give birth. Leave my son alone." Tears rolled down Uloma's eyes, and she went into her room and cried. She went down on her knees and prayed to God to bless her with the fruit of the womb. In her words, she said, "Dear Lord, I am tired of these shames and disgrace. I'm tired of this reproach. Please, if I had offended you somewhere which made you to shut my womb, Lord, please forgive me, for I've suffered enough. Please have mercy on me and open my womb. Please let me conceive, bear children, and carry children like my mates. Please, Father Lord. With these words of prayer, she got up and went to go about her business. Despite Amaka's harsh treatment to her, Uloma never stopped being nice to Amaka. Months later, Uloma was feeling sick, so she decided to go to hospital. Tests were carried out, and it was discovered that Uloma was 2 months pregnant. Uloma was so joyous. She got home and informed her husband. Iche was so happy that he even gave Uloma a huge sum of money. In fact, his love for Uloma never died after all. As months passed, Amaka started noticing Uloma's protruding stomach. She thought to herself and said, "Wait oh, is this woman pregnant? Ha! She better not be oh. She can't be pregnant. Even if she is. Even if she is, I won't allow her have that child. Lie, not in this house." Since then, she started scheming different ways to make Uloma lose the pregnancy. But Uloma was so wise not to get into any fight with her. Barely 1 week to Uloma's delivery, just one morning, Amaka poured some water in front of Uloma's door and quickly ran to her room so that no one will notice what she had done. So as Uloma was coming out of her room, she stepped on the water, slipped and fell down, landing on her tummy. Uloma screamed out loud. Immediately, she started bleeding, and next thing, she became unconscious. Uloma's scream attracted Iche, who was about going out. He quickly rushed back inside, only to find his dear wife lying unconscious in her own pool of blood. Immediately, he called for backup and put her in the car. Quickly, he drove her straight to the hospital. The doctors and nurses battled to revive Uloma for hours, but hours later, she was conscious. Then one of the doctors came out and asked to see Iche. He asked Iche to follow him to his office. Iche was scared. He asked the doctor, "How is my wife?" The doctor assured him that she was now stable. But the doctor said, "Sir, there is a problem." Iche was really scared. He asked, "Doctor, please talk to me." The doctor told him that he has to give them permission to operate on his wife. Also, that it is either the mother or the baby that will be saved. He asked Iche, whom does he want to save? He told Iche to sign whom he wanted to save. Immediately, Iche said,